This is Victor Steele, AI spokesperson for the Senior Power Community Channel. In this important podcast, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most underhanded billing traps in modern healthcare, observation status. Sounds harmless, right? But for seniors on Medicare, it can quietly wipe out benefits, cause rehab denials, and leave families with staggering out-of-pocket bills. Worse, most people never realize it's happening until it's too late. Hospitals use it as a shield to protect themselves from Medicare audits. The government calls it a classification. I call it a scam hiding in plain sight. You deserve to know what's happening behind those hospital doors and how to protect yourself. Let's break it down. For a shorter summary, please see our YouTube short, Hospital Observation, Major Senior Ripoff. Thanks. Before we dive in, here's what I'll walk you through in this episode. This isn't fluff. These are the real-world steps and facts that could protect your Medicare benefits and save you thousands in medical bills. If you or someone you love is ever hospitalized, you need to understand these 6 things. Introduction. What is observation status, and why is it such a big deal? What observation status really means, how hospitals classify you without your knowledge. The costly fallout, why a simple label can leave you with massive out-of-pocket costs. Why hospitals use it, the behind-the-scenes incentive to protect their billing, not your benefits. Your legal rights and tools, how to push back, demand transparency, and file an appeal. Key takeaways, what every Medicare recipient and caregiver should know before the next hospital visit. When you walk into a hospital for care, you'd assume you're being admitted. But here's the loophole. You can be treated inside the hospital for multiple days without ever being formally admitted. That's observation status. Originally meant for short stays, 24 hours, maybe 48, it's now being stretched. You're in a hospital bed, getting the same care as an inpatient, but legally, you're considered outpatient. That means Medicare Part B is in charge, and your costs start stacking up fast. There's no bundled inpatient coverage. Everything is billed separately. And here's the kicker. If you're not an official inpatient for 3 full days, Medicare won't cover your skilled nursing rehab afterward. That's federal policy. 3 inpatient nights, or you pay out of pocket. Now let me walk you through what this chart really means, line by line, because this is where the scam hides in plain sight. It is complicated, so please bear with me. Start with average length of stay. Observation patients typically stay under 24 hours, around 10 hours on average. But inpatient stays, they last closer to 2 days. Observation is designed for quick turnover. It's a holding pattern, not a full admission. Next is nurse staffing. Under observation, the patient-to-nurse ratio can be as high as 5-to-1. Less staff, less supervision. Why? Because hospitals see you as low risk. Inpatient care, on the other hand, involves a lot more hands on deck. Nurse ratios closer to 3-to-1. Room setup is another clue. Observation patients may be placed in curtained-off areas or flexible-use rooms, makeshift setups. But inpatients are in assigned hospital beds, in full hospital rooms that meet stricter medical criteria. When we talk treatment protocols, the difference is clear. Observation follows checklists, standard diagnostics, and minimal intervention. Inpatient care is more adaptive. It allows for broader, more intensive treatments when things get serious. Then we hit the money point, revenue models. Observation care is billed under Medicare Part B. That means the hospital gets paid for every service individually, every scan, test, or dose. But inpatient stays are covered by Part A, bundled payments. One flat fee covers the whole visit, no matter how many services are used. And here's where the game gets dangerous. Audit risk. Observation care flies under the radar. It's rarely audited. But inpatient admissions, if they're too short or not well documented, Medicare will flag it, deny payment, or penalize the hospital. Finally, hospital incentives. With observation, hospitals get paid and face little scrutiny. With inpatient admissions, the payout is bigger, but so is the risk. That's why more and more seniors are being pushed into observation status even when they should be admitted. This chart isn't just numbers, it's the roadmap for how hospitals game the system, and it's why you need to know what you're being labeled the moment you enter that building. So now that you've seen how hospitals benefit, let's talk about how you lose. This is where observation status stops being a billing term and starts becoming a financial ambush. Picture this. A senior slips at home, is taken to the ER, gets x-rays, blood work, IV meds, stays overnight, maybe 2 or 3 nights. The care feels just like a regular hospital admission. But then comes the paperwork. The discharge planner says you'll need rehab. Great. Only Medicare won't pay. Why? Because all those days were labeled observation. They don't count toward the 3-day inpatient rule for skilled nursing coverage. You think you were in the hospital. You were in the hospital, but not on paper. And that rehab? That spay now costs you $500 a day, every day. Totally out of pocket. I've seen families blindsided. An 84-year-old woman gets 4 nights of care, but her family's denied $12,000 in rehab bills. No warning, no way to fix it after the fact, because nobody told them to ask, am I inpatient or observation? And if you think Medicare Advantage plans shield you from this, think again. Many still follow the same rules. You'll get the same denial, just with a corporate logo on it. Picture this. You're 82. You slip getting out of the shower. Hips broken, pain like fire. You're rushed to the hospital. X-rays, IVs, doctors everywhere. They admit you, or so you think. 4 days go by. Nurses come and go. You've got a bracelet, a hospital gown, and machines beeping next to your bed. Feels like a hospital stay. Smells like a hospital stay. It is a hospital stay. Then, on day 4, the doctor says you'll need rehab. They wheel you off to a skilled nursing facility. You think Medicare's got it covered. You've earned it, paid into it your whole life. But a week later, a letter shows up. Medicare denial. Why? Because those 4 days in the hospital, they don't count. You were never admitted. You were on observation status, not inpatient. No 3-day rule, no coverage. You're on the hook for everything. Every rehab meal, every sponge bath, every physical therapy session, out of pocket. And you didn't do a thing wrong, except trust the system. Please note, you must be given a document called the Moon Form, and there's nothing beautiful or romantic about it. Let's take a few minutes to talk about it. The Moon Notice is short for Medicare Outpatient Observation Notice. Sounds official. Sounds like you're protected, but that's the scam. It's supposed to explain that you're not admitted as an inpatient, that you'll be billed under Part B, not Part A, that you won't qualify for skilled nursing facility coverage unless you meet the 3-day inpatient requirement, that you may have higher out-of-pocket costs. If falls short, it comes too late. Hospitals aren't required to give it to you until after you've been under observation for 24 hours. By that time, the clock's already ticking against your coverage. You've already used a bed, received tests, and taken meds that Medicare might not fully pay for, but you still think you're admitted. It's overwhelming and vague. The form itself? Bureaucratic, vague, and completely unhelpful if you're in pain, sedated, or confused. You get the form, but no one sits down and tells you what it means. It's a check-the-box exercise, not patient protection. 3. No significa que no problema. Think refusing to sign it will change your status? Think again. Whether you sign or not, the hospital keeps you as observation. The signature's not for your protection, it's for theirs. It proves they followed procedure, not that you understood a damn thing. 4. There's no way to challenge it until it's too late. You can't appeal observation status from your hospital bed. Not to Medicare, not to your insurer. You have to wait until you're discharged. By then, the rehab center is billing you $15,000 out of pocket, and Medicare says it's not their problem. 5. Hospital staff may downplay it. I've spoken to nurses who admit they're told to gloss it over. Some are even instructed not to use the term outpatient unless the patient insists on details, because the less you ask, the less they have to explain. What to do? You've got one weapon here. Ask early and often. Day 1, hour 1. Ask, am I being admitted as an inpatient? Not, am I in the hospital? That's not the same thing. And if they give you the moon form, don't just sign it. Ask for a care manager. Ask for a copy. Take a photo. Call a family member. Don't just assume you're covered because you're in a hospital bed. Good luck. Before we wrap up, let me clear something up because I've seen this mistake too many times. People hear about Medicare refusing to pay for rehab after a hospital stay, and they assume it's about insurance coverage. It's not. It's about classification. You weren't denied because your plan is bad. You were denied because you were never admitted in the first place, even if you were lying in a hospital bed for 4 days hooked up to machines. Observation status isn't a failure of insurance. It's a failure of hospital coding. It's the label they slap on your chart. And if that label says observation, Medicare Part A isn't triggered. Rehab coverage? Gone. Full hospital coverage? Gone. And that's how good people with solid Medicare get financially wrecked. So no, this isn't about premiums, networks, or picking the wrong plan. It's about knowing what box you've been put in and how to get out of it before the bills hit. If you take one thing from this episode, take this. Observation status isn't some small clerical detail. It's a billion-dollar blind spot, and you're the one holding the bill. You were never told. You were never asked. And by the time you get that moon notice, it's already too late to fix the damage. That's not care. That's a trap. But now, you're not in the dark. You know the language, you know the signs, and you know the power of asking the right question at the right time. Am I being admitted or observed? That question alone could save your life savings. I'm Victor Steele, and this is Senior Power. Stay smart, stay skeptical, and next time they try to slide a form under your hand without looking you in the eye, don't sign until you know what you're signing. You've earned better.